All right, so thank you all for joining us today. We have a special series of webinars going on right now at Woofie's for the week of National Pet Week, which is May 3rd through 9th. And today we have a special guest speaker for pet health and wellness and nutrition, Carla Mangone of Petwants Chantilly. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Carla so she can introduce herself and talk a little bit about pet health and nutrition and also Petwants Chantilly.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. Okay, so first of all, thank you to Woofie's and Michelle for allowing me to come to talk about pet nutrition and how the importance of it can help improve your dog and cat's well-being and overall lifestyle. So my husband Matthew and I opened Petwants Chantilly of November of last year. We are a mobile franchise, which means that we go to pop-ups and wineries, breweries, craft fairs, vendor fairs. We don't have a storefront, but everything that you can see at our pop-ups, you can order it online. So when we opened up Petwants Chantilly, life changes along with our own rescue dog, Allie, were the reason behind opening it. Last April, we adopted Allie, and the following week, I found out I was being laid off from my job. After talking about it with my husband, we decided to research other opportunities and pursue new ventures for my next career. So I came across Petwants at the same time I was trying to figure out what to feed Allie for her diet. When she was in foster care, she was eating grain-free, and naturally I carried that over until we went to the vet, and the vet told me not to feed her grain-free. So obviously I didn't know what to do. I remember standing in the line at Giant or in the pet food aisle at Giant, completely bewildered by all of the pet food choices. I grabbed a brand that I recognized and I brought it home, and Allie would only eat that with wet food on top of it. So enter Petwants and our research. I ordered the salmon and brown rice formula, and I remember telling my husband, if Allie doesn't eat this, we're not gonna sell it. And needless to say, when I brought the box in, Allie was jumping up on her hind legs, trying to get the box. And as soon as I opened it up and gave her some, she scarfed it right down. And as a food allergy mom, for 17 years, I've been reading the labels of ingredients and everything as it pertained to my two kids with food allergies. So of course, by habit, that translated to reading the ingredients for Allie's food as well. With the Petwants food, I was able to understand the ingredients, pronounce most of the names or most of the ingredients, and also the treats. So when I ordered the salmon and brown rice, I also ordered the freeze-dried salmon. And the freeze-dried salmon only had one ingredient in it, salmon, which really spoke to me. So based on, Allie's reaction to the food, how much she enjoyed it, and the overall nutritional benefits that we saw, we knew that we wanted to bring Petwants to the Northern Virginia community. So our mission is, the Petwants promise is to provide our clients with the freshest and most trusted pet food available, made monthly in small batches using natural ingredients in the USA, delivered locally by the pound to our customers' door. Petwants products allow our customers to prevail in the battle of mass-produced pet foods. So what exactly does our mission mean? Traditional pet foods sit on the shelf for 6 to 12 months before it reaches your pet's bowl. Every month that passes equals lost nutritional value. Petwants formulas are delivered fresh within weeks of being made, ensuring your dog and cat can benefit and receive the nutritional benefits almost immediately. These benefits can be seen in their skin and coat. Skin and coat is traditionally the last organ to receive nutrients and vitamins from pet food. Because our formulas are so fresh, the skin and coat is receiving those nutrients along with other organs. And that results in less shedding and softer fur, better digestion, which results in better bowel movements, and overall better health, a bounce in their step, so to speak. So take a look at these 4 images and you will see the top 4 pet brand manufacturers across the US. Now, when I hear Nestle, I think of hot chocolate. Smucker's, I think of peanut butter and jelly. Mars, M&M's, and Colgate-Palmolive toothpaste to brush it all away. I don't think of pet food. Our formulas are made in the USA by a pet food manufacturer every 6 weeks. As a matter of fact, I can tell you the exact date your food is made. And the freshness is one of the many reasons the dogs and cats love our formulas. So how do we stand out from the pack? Fresh is better. So do you have an apple on your counter or a salad in the fridge? Now imagine letting that produce sit on the counter for 1 to 2 weeks. As it wilts and browns and loses its nutritional value, you're not going to eat that. Well, the same can be said for pet food that is mass produced. Our pets are eating food that is sat in distribution, losing its nutritional benefit, losing its nutritional value week by week, month by month, until it reaches their bowl. In addition to this, traditional pet foods are mass produced at high temperatures with low quality ingredients. Our formulas are slow cooked in small batches at lower temperatures to lock in the nutrients and benefits that they need. So our formulas do not have wheat, corn, or soy, animal byproducts, or fillers. Every whole ingredient has a reason for being there and a purpose. We have dried fruits and dried vegetables provide nutrients, as well as the brown rice and sweet potatoes, and of course the meat. So we are easy and convenient. Petwants Chantilly delivers all the items you order online straight to your door within 24 hours of ordering. And as most of my customers are dogs, I don't ring the doorbells. I just literally drop the bag and run. So this customer benefit was set into place before COVID-19, and it will always be an option for you. Our delivery includes all of our treats, chews, formulas, and supplements, as well as anything else that you might need. You have the option to set up a subscription, so you don't have to worry about running out of food. You can set it up for weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, and once you set it up, that's it. It goes through every single time you need it, and I deliver it on schedule. And if you have a large bag or a large dog and you don't want a 55-pound bag to carry into the house, don't worry, I will deliver it for you. And we deliver solutions. As the local owner of Petwants Chantilly, my mission is to help your dog or cat live a healthier, happier lifestyle through nutritional consultation and learning about their dietary needs and overall lifestyle. I will take the time to talk to you about what your dog is eating now, their bite strength and their chew strength, what types of treats they would enjoy, and what type of products that we offer that can help them, whether that's our supplements or our formulas, our chews and treats. Okay, there, sorry. Okay, so we've talked about our fresh nutrition and our high quality ingredients and our delivery options, but what else makes Petwants unique? So how many of you buy one big bag of food every month, and the result is your dog is eating the same thing at every meal, every day, every week, all month long? So you and I don't eat the same way, and neither should we ask our pets to. Petwants formulas promote rotational feeding, which means that because our food is delivered by ordered by the pound, you can order different types of proteins for your dogs to enjoy. My dog is currently eating salmon and whitefish and duck. So she's getting the different benefits of the fish oils and all the other proteins. But next month she might eat chicken and lamb, and that benefit is also passed on to you. You can order whatever different kinds of proteins you want so that your dogs can benefit. In addition, if you have a smaller dog, you can order as little as 1 to 2 pounds a month, again in the different types of proteins, so that they can also enjoy the benefits of rotational feeding, and they're not stuck with one bag for 2 to 3 months eating the same protein every day. So I pride myself on having conversations with my clients and customers about their pets and what they need, whether it's at a pop-up or via email or messenger, and just checking in to see how their pets like the formulas and treats and what else we can do to improve their lifestyle. So we have 7 dog formulas. So there's chicken and brown rice, salmon and brown rice, lamb and brown rice, grain-free whitefish and duck, and grain-free turkey and chicken, puppy, and less active senior. All of our formulas are all life stage except for less active. So if you have a puppy, you don't have to feed them just puppy. You can give them puppy and chicken, or throw in some salmon and lamb. But if you have a large breed puppy, then we wouldn't recommend the lamb because of the calcium content. That's an example of the discussion that I'll have with you about what type of dog you have and what they need. We also have 3 cat formulas. We have all cat and kitten, which is obviously all life stage, lean cat, and grain-free duck and herring. So during our consultation, I'll talk to you about what your cats need and what they're currently eating and how many cats you have in your house and their overall lifestyle, because that will help me figure out and work with you what type of formula to feed them. So in addition to our formulas, we also have a number of unique treats. I mentioned the freeze-dried salmon before. We have single source protein snacks. That includes the freeze-dried salmon, freeze-dried chicken hearts, freeze-dried minnows, which it's the whole fish. The cats and dogs enjoy the minnows, salmon, and chicken hearts. We also have kangaroo and venison jerky, as well as chicken jerky. All of our products are made in the USA. Obviously, the kangaroo comes from Australia, but it's made in a USDA certified facility. And each of these products have unique nutritional benefits. So, and we also have all natural and completely digestible chews that are made in the USA or sourced in the Americas. None of our chews have chemicals or preservatives, and they're completely all natural. And again, the dogs can consume all of it. So and all of our chews have unique nutritional benefits. Any of our tracheas or chicken or duck feet or any of our animal ears are really good for joint health because they are packed with glucosamine and chondroitin. And again, I'll talk to you about, your dog's bite strength. Obviously, a small, older dog might not have a big enough bite strength to get through a beef trachea, but if you're still looking for the joint health, then I'll suggest a lamb trachea or lamb ear, something that's softer for them to chew on. And again, because they are slow cooked at low temperatures, your dogs can chew them without worrying about brittle bones breaking. So we also have other chews like elk antlers, which fall off naturally in the wild, and those can last up to a year, and they're also really good for the vigorous chewers who might need, help keeping their teeth clean because they're so hard and they're so dense. The dogs can really chew on them and help keep their teeth clean and obviously occupy themselves. We also have beef knuckles, water buffalo horns, and quick treats like turkey jerky and elk jerky. And again, these are really good for dogs with allergies. A dog might be allergic to other items, and give them some elk jerky because that's the only ingredient it's just the elk. So, and last but not least, we carry the Holistic Hound brand of hemp and mushroom supplements. These USDA organic oils are good for dogs and cats and can treat a number of ailments, including inflammation, anxiety, joint health, immune support, to name a few. And for the Holistic Hound mushroom powder, you can actually add that to your smoothie as well. So I also make a number of products in-house for our dogs and cats. So one of these is our beef jerky. And I've been told by a number of customers that their dogs treat it like they think it's crack for dogs. And because it's human grade, you can actually eat it too. My dog, she actually gets mad at me when I'm feeding it to her because I'll feed her some and then I'll have some. So just a fair warning, it's addictive for both of us. So, and we also make sweet potato chips and peanut butter sweet potato chips. And that's all it is. Those are the only ingredients. It's dehydrated sweet potatoes or with sweet potatoes with peanut butter powder. And then we also make peanutty cookies, which is made with organic peanut butter, honey, kelp, dried powder, dried egg, chickpea flour, and cinnamon. And those have the same consistency as a milk bone cookie, but pack a more nutritional punch. And we also have 4 spa products that are made with doTERRA essential oils to help promote health and wellness for our dogs. Now, because they're made with doTERRA essential oils and carrier oil, such as coconut or olive oil, if the dog licks it off, it's completely harmless and it won't hurt them at all. So we have healing salve, which is good for healing cuts and scrapes and minor scrapes. And then we also have skin spray, which works along the same lines, but it is actually, it's to help cover larger areas or larger hot spots. So both of those work to soothe and to heal the abrasions or the hot spots. And we also have calming balm, which can be used to help when you have a thunderstorm coming up, or if fireworks are going to come up on the 4th of July, you apply it about 30 minutes before, and it really helps soothe them and calm them down. It's got lavender and Digest Zen in it, and because it's got Digest Zen in it, it also helps alleviate motion sickness if you have a dog that doesn't like to travel and gets motion sickness. And then you can also use it for trips to the vet, just to overall calm them down if you know that a triggering effect is going to happen soon. And then we also have house-made flea and tick repellent that I also use myself. It's pretty self-explanatory, but it helps, and you can use it year-round to help keep the bugs away before they actually have a chance to bite our pets. So my contact information is going to follow on the slide before this next slide, and Michelle will have it as well. And free samples are available by request. Again, I'll talk to you about what your pet needs, what they're currently eating, and anything that concerns you, whether it's a sensitive stomach or allergies, if there's foods they need to avoid. And I'll be happy to talk to you about any of our formulas and how Petwants and Fresh can help. But I do have to warn you, I've got a couple customers whose dogs hate fish or chicken, and they now enjoy those formulas. So the one thing I can say is dogs and cats can really taste and smell the freshness. And I think that's why Allie always jumps on me when I bring a new bag in, because she can taste the freshness, or she can smell the freshness, and she knows what good stuff is coming. So thank you again to Woofie's for this opportunity to talk about Petwants and the benefits of fresh nutrition. And as you can see, I've got a unique code for you guys to take advantage of. So 30% off your first order. And again, I deliver it within 24 hours, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have about Petwants or nutrition, or what, other ailments your dogs or cats may be having. So thank you.
Great. Thank you, Carla. I appreciate that. So I just wanted to ask you, as we are, as you're wrapping up your PowerPoint, about the grain-free options. I don't know personally. I have 3 cats and a dog. I don't know that much about grain-free and benefits, or benefits, pros or cons for grain-free. So could you talk more a little bit about that?
Yes. So you have 3 cats, you said?
I have 3. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for the multi-cat households, we typically recommend lean cat, because I don't know if it's like this in your house, but inevitably you have one cat who enjoys to eat and some other cats who might not enjoy eating so much. So the lean cat, we found, really balances it out, and that's a good choice for the multi-cat households. For the grain-free, we recognize that there are some dogs who can't eat grains. And obviously, when I took Allie off of grain-free, my mindset was from being a food allergy mom perspective of, oh my God, I have to take her off this immediately. It's not good for her, and she needs to be eating regular whole food. But there's obviously some dogs who need grain-free. They can't process the traditional grains, or they can't digest it. And Allie, obviously, she's eating some grain-free, but she's also got regular formulas mixed in. So whenever I feed her grain-free, I always tend to also supplement or add in our traditional formulas, so that she can, she's not exclusively grain-free.
Great, thank you for that. So when people are shopping and looking for pet food, when they're just looking at the regular at the grocery store, what are the ingredients they should be looking out for? Whether they be ingredients that are good for your pet or not good. Okay,
so you always want, it's interesting, because when you and I are looking for food for ourselves and we're looking at the ingredients, we always want meat to be the first ingredient, or because obviously the first ingredient is going to be the most important. Well, for dog and cat food, if it says chicken as the first ingredient, that's misleading, or any type of meat, it's misleading if it just says chicken, because that is, they weigh it before they process it. So it weighs more, and it loses its moisture when they cook it. So in actuality, it's moving further down the ingredient panel. So even though it says chicken, at the end of the day, after it's all produced, it's not going to be the top ingredient. Now, on the flip side of that, you want to look for chicken meal or any type of meat meal. So salmon meal, lamb meal, because it's pound for pound. So if you have 1 pound of chicken meal going into the meat before it's produced, at the end, you're going to have 1 pound of chicken meal, because it's already lost its moisture. So it's going to have all of the nutrients and benefits. Another item that you want to look for, I mentioned the dried fruits and vegetables. It's the same thing. We have dried cranberries, dried spinach, dried fruits, because it's dried and the moisture is taken away. So we still have the nutrients and vitamins that the fruits and vegetables can provide without without losing it in production. Now, for foods to avoid, we mentioned byproducts. So I will not go into detail what byproducts are unless you want to ask me offline, but you definitely want to, even if it says something like byproduct meal or animal byproducts, it's just, you don't want that in your food. It's not, it has absolutely no nutritional value whatsoever.
Thank you for that. Another question we have is about the variety of food that for dog food and cat food that is available right now. I mean, I know when I was growing up and I had pets, it was Purina. Like there was just one brand that you got, and everyone, fed their dog the same thing.
Oh.
Now I have friends that, get food from the grocery store or get like an online service that delivers food that looks kind of like human food. I have a friend that actually makes her own food. She just uses raw meat and an egg and maybe some vitamins and supplements. So there is just a variety of different choices out there right now. What are your thoughts on all of those like different services and all of the, new options these days?
Well, and I mentioned it. I just remember standing there in line and I picked up a Purina brand because I recognized it. And I just remember looking at the ingredients and I was thinking, I don't know what half of these are, I don't know what half of these brands are. And also I remember talking to another, when I was at another pet store and they had kangaroo. So again, at first I was like, oh my gosh, kangaroo. But then I realized that there are dogs with allergies and, kangaroo might be, that's, why we have kangaroo jerky. So it's a good option for dogs with allergies and it's a unique protein. So for me, I think it's, one of the benefits of Petwants, like I mentioned, is that we offer a variety and you can mix and match your food and your formulas without having to worry about upsetting the tummies and changing the food. Because I know that I can just throw in any type of formula for Allie and she's not going to get an upset tummy because all of a sudden I changed the different type of protein because she's already getting different proteins. Now I met a customer at an event and he had a beautiful dog, beautiful skin and coat. And of course my first question was, what are you feeding him? Or I think it was a her. And he was doing completely raw. And he showed me the video of, cutting up the steak and giving the raw egg. And he was feeding the dog chicken feet, but unlike my chicken feet that are, dehydrated and slow cooked, he was feeding it to her raw. And because at the end of the day, the dogs are carnivores or omnivores. And so they're going to be eating, if they're out in the wild, they're going to be eating whatever they catch. And, and I told him, I said, you're to be commended because I can't keep up with it for myself for eating that healthy, And so for all the other options, I mean, that's what another thing that helps is that I'm here to talk to you. I mean, I recognize that I have some customers whose dogs, have such severe allergies that they make their own food, but then they supplement with either we have enzyme or probiotic supplements and some of our treats. So I'll talk to you about what the best option is for you. There are a lot of options out there. And as a, new pet owner last year, I can attest that it's extremely difficult and sometimes frustrating, especially, when I meet people whose dogs are, they don't know what to feed them. And I've talked to so many people who, they're just frustrated. Like my dog doesn't eat. And that's why I said, sometimes I've got customers whose dogs don't eat chicken, but they eat our formulas. So, and there are a lot of options out there, and I'll help you talk to you about, what's best for your dog, and whether you're feeding them raw and you want to supplement with, our enzymes, or, you just want to buy a couple chicken feet, so.
So yeah, you kind of mentioned also that you make some of the dog food at home, at least the treats. Mm-hmm. And when people do, if they want to supplement with, some of the food that you offer and make their own food at home, is that something that you recommend? Is that okay? Or should they just be doing one or the other?
That's a good question. Most of the people that I've talked to that are doing raw, they would continue to do the raw, but then they would do the treats. But then again, if you're going on vacation, then you might not have time to bring all of the, the steak and the egg and the chickens and all that stuff with you. So then I would, I could recommend, well, here, bring some kibble, introduce some pumpkin, just bring just to help with the transition so that they have stuff to eat. So you can definitely have some on hand to, for some of those days when you might not have, the time or the luxury to do completely raw. But again, I would talk to you about the, how to transition with that.
That's great. Thank you. Yeah, my dog actually had a sample of some of the Petwants Chantilly food last time we saw you. You came to one of our Woofie's events, and he loved it so much. So I would like to start integrating that food into his diet. Do you have suggestions when your customers start integrating a new food as to how to do that?
Yes. So we actually recommend starting out with maybe like a quarter of a cup based on whatever you're feeding them. So for easy math, if he gets a cup a day, putting in a quarter of a cup and then gradually increasing the amount of food, Petwants formula that he's getting. And then so that by the end of the week, he's getting more Petwants and then less of his other brand. And then that way, he can fully transition over. And then also, I sometimes give, a little bit of pumpkin to help with the transition. We don't recommend obviously dumping in, and I actually did this with Allie because I was so paranoid about the grain-free. I just threw her dog food away without even thinking about it and then gave her the Purina. And so, obviously I didn't know what I was doing. So transition a little bit over, starting with a quarter of a cup and then moving up to a half a cup, 3/4 cup. And then that way, by the end of the week or, 7 to 10 days, they're fully transitioned onto your diet.
And Carla, what are some of the best sellers that you have at Petwants Chantilly? What do your customers really love, and what are their pets really, really enjoying?
Okay, so our for the formulas, it's funny, it changes from time to time. So formulas right now, one of our most popular is chicken and brown rice, and ironically now whitefish and duck grain-free. That's one of our 2 of our top sellers. But again, next month it could be salmon. So and sometimes it's all seasonal too, because I'll promote salmon to most of my customers whose dogs can eat any flavor or any formula in the wintertime because it helps with their skin and coat, those extra fish oils. For our treats, the freeze-dried chicken hearts are a big seller because I call them my high reward treats because the dogs just, it's a little, you can, it crumbles easily. So it's good for dogs with a less of a stronger bite or, obviously a stronger bite. Those are good. And then also for our chews, we just started carrying beef cheek rolls. So and they're sprinkled with bully dust, and they're really substantial. They're 6 to 12 inch, but they're about 3 to 4 inches wide. So a lot of people are getting those now because all of our dogs are home with us when we're working from home, and so we need to occupy their time. And then our elk antlers, I love. Everybody that I've talked to who has purchased an elk antler is really happy with it because again, it helps those vigorous chewers and they last up to a year. So if Allie were sitting behind me, you'd see her chewing on her elk antler. So those are definitely some of our best sellers. And then little things like, like the chicken feet. It's just, the dogs love it. So, I've got a couple customers who come up to me and say, oh, my dog will never eat that. And then they bring it home and their dogs, they just love it.
That's great. So I think that's all we have in terms of questions, unless anyone else has any questions that they want to. Oh, someone just asked, what's bully dust?
Okay. So the bully dust is basically, it's the shaved, basically like a shaved down bully stick. And if you don't know what a bully stick it is the dehydrated male part of the bull. So it is, the dogs love it, and we sell it obviously just a traditional bully stick and then braided, pretzel shaped and circle shaped. So if your dog, chews through a bully stick really, really quickly, then the braided or the pretzels might take a little longer because it's tougher to navigate and get around. So if you really wanted to know.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much, Carla, for coming on today and sharing your knowledge with us and expertise.
Thank you.
And again, I will send this recording out to everybody that was on the call today. And Carla's contact information if you want to contact her, ask her any questions, and following up with this presentation. But again, thank you, and really appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you.